Down in the Watts district, across from one of the more notorious gang-ridden housing projects, is a legendary hamburger joint known as Hawkins House of Burgers. But currently, the hamburger joint is threatened by a silly land dispute between it and the California Department of Transportation. It couldn't come at a worse time. During the pandemic lockdown, small businesses, restaurants, and minority-owned businesses were the hardest hit. Hawkins House is all three of those. They survived it, but now are ordered to cut down part of the restaurant over a silly property dispute. The story begins in 1939 when James Henry Hawkins moved to Los Angeles and used his life savings to buy land on the corner of Slater Street and Imperial Highway. He built a two-story house on it and used the first floor as a restaurant. It soon became famous as the Hawkins House of Burgers, and the business boomed. After he passed, his granddaughter took over the business in 1970, and she expanded it, adding a patio and a larger kitchen. Trouble started to develop in 2016 when Hawkins leased additional land from the California Department of Transportation for parking. In 2018, Caltrans offered to sell the land to Hawkins in a private sale. She agreed, and a Caltrans representative came out to survey the land. But the surveyors reported that part of the restaurant encroached on the land that belonged to Caltrans. Caltrans retracted their offer and demanded that Hawkins remove the corner of the house that encroached on their land. She was shocked. She said the repairs would be extremely costly and they'd shut down her business for months. Caltrans ignored her request to resolve the issue and instead sent a letter demanding that the structure straddling the property line be removed by August 21st, 2021. I taped this video a few days after that date and the structure is still there. According to employees I spoke to, it was outrage in local media, radio, and on social media that forced Caltrans to delay the demands, at least for now. This is typical of how our government operates. The property lines were just fine as they were drawn in 1939. However, 80 years later, it's said the property lines are wrong, and the portions of the house which extend over the line have to be removed. And that's a rather difficult thing to do. So much for the big words from politicians about helping small business. Their actions always say otherwise. Anyway, if you're in the neighborhood, drop in at the Hawkins House of Burgers and grab a bite. It'll help them out, and you'll love the burger. It's on the corner of the Imperial Highway and Slater Street, which is just a few blocks off of Central Avenue.